Tuesday, August 23rd, 2016. Monaco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. Just want to talk about pensions or retirement plans. I've been reading recently about new strategies that retirement funds or pension funds are taking, and particularly the state of Hawaii. I read an article yesterday on Zero Hedge that the Hawaii Retirement Workers Fund, I think it's a fund that's worth about $16 billion or $15 billion. They're taking 10% of the assets and writing put options, which is basically selling insurance and for something they don't have. And the reason they're doing that is that, central banks, particularly the Fed, ECB, Bank of Japan, Bank of England, they've driven interest rates, to levels never seen before, sometimes even negative levels like the ECB and Bank of Japan. And bond yields throughout, all asset classes have shrunk. And pension funds up until recently, or the norm has been to guarantee the pension holders, the policy holders or the employees that are in the plan, they're guaranteed that when they retire, they'll be getting, like a 7% to 8% annual return on how much, let's say $100,000 or $1 million, the plan is to, pay them $80,000 a year, for example, if you have $1 million, if you're lucky enough to have that. You'd be getting $80,000. But now with interest rates near zero, and in some cases in Europe at negative, they're having to resort to these very risky strategies. I can tell you that selling puts is the kind of strategy that, high-flying traders at hedge funds take, not pension funds looking after, people's money, especially people that have worked, for 30 years or are retired already, or people that are working and paying into that pension plan. And the other state that's doing the same is the state of South Carolina. So I can think of probably a lot of other pension funds also in Europe who are having to resort to highly risky trades. And Zero Hedge talks about how pension funds did the same thing in the middle 2000s with the credit default swaps, which is basically a put as well. They were selling those credit default swaps on mortgage-backed securities because they were supposedly investment-grade mortgage-backed securities. And we found out that, they were layered and they had junk in there, even though they were supposed to be AAA. And we all know what happened, in '08. They had to, the U.S. Treasury or the taxpayer had to bail out AIG, who were the people, taking on the other, taking on those bets with they were taking on the bet, the other sides of the bet, and they had to be bailed out. So, what can I say? I mean, I just think that anyone who thinks that they can depend on their pensions for retirement has to think again and maybe start saving on their own, or maybe try to get out of their pension schemes and cash it in. I know a lot of times you've got penalties for doing that. Cash it in, buy physical gold, buy physical silver. And if you can't cash it in, start saving. Because I have to say, we are in uncharted waters in terms of monetary policy. I know we are at all-time highs in the stock market. We seem to be every day. Interest rates are low. We got the Yellen put, which seems to be, used every time there's any sign of market turmoil. But if you look historically, markets do break. Central banks are not omnipotent. They can't always save the market. So I think it's a time bomb, really, the pension, or retirement market. And a lot of people could suffer, not only people that are already retired because they might lose all their, retirement money or income, but also the people that have been on these schemes and are, going to retire maybe in 5-10 years time, or also people who have just started in the last few years and they've paid into it. Beware of that. That's all I want to point out. I don't want to be negative. I just want to be realistic. I'm not the only one talking about, uncharted waters and uncharted monetary policy. Even the insiders and, Mr. Rothschild is talking about it, and everyone else. So if you like my video, please like, share, and subscribe. We also accept donations for the channel if you'd like to give a donation. I've got links below in the description for Bitcoin, PayPal, and Patreon. Thanks for watching. Bye.